Roxy. This casting is remarkable.
Damn. Oh, God, it's gross.
Utter darkness, like in Game of Thrones.
Whoa. Hello, fellow reject. Michael Tessler for multihouse.io. What are we watching today?
We are watching Fallout Season 2, Episode 3, Revenge of the Airship.
I'm excited for this, man.
I'm so excited. We left off on a high note.
A very high note.
Which was
A Nanjiani note.
Was a very spry-looking fellow from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Hopping off a vertibird, looking very, very much like Greg right now.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
He'll be around in more. I think he'll have more runtime here than he'll have in all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I was going to say, he certainly is already having a better experience with Fallout than he has had with the MCU.
Well,
but, hey, he's putting that super fit body to...
I hope we actually get to see it this time because he is still fit. It
yeah,
still shows.
he's maintained.
He's maintained.
It's
It's looking
hard.
great. Very low body fat percentage. High, big arms, veins popping. Hydrated. Good sodium.
I hope he's
All right.
watching this.
Me too, man.
What do you think his potassium level?
I probably imagine after a workout, it probably takes about like 500 or 1,000 milligrams.
You know, one would say that he looks good.
Waka. Hey guys, you know what to do. You should leave a like on this video while you're doing that. Leave your thoughts in the episode down below. Tell us why it was the worst episode of all time or best. There's no nuance on the internet. All right, guys, let's do it. Wow, he is
Oh,
gold.
he's coming along.
I hear something saying,
He's really made a life for himself.
Yeah.
Working at a factory?
that's the
Sweatshop?
sound
Little
of
bottle
the
factory.
wind working
Bottle factory. Sweatshop. It's clearly bottles.
Oh. Well, you know, caps are the currency of this world.
Bobby! Hey! See your eyes closing over there? You know what happens when you fall asleep on the job? Nothing good, that's for sure.
Young ghoul.
It's nothing like a child workforce that never ages.
Try it without the gloves. The meat on your palms, I'll give you a better grip. Just get in there.
Oh.
I did it.
Keep it up in your big, gross, callous hands in no time. Trudy, why aren't you making money for me?
Roxy.
Reminder, we're all really, really lucky to be here. I have seen some shit out there, but here, we got it made. We got a roof over our heads.
You giving a motivational speech to the team?
Yeah, man. I've never identified with the character so much.
Nobody wakes you up in the morning to do push-ups or makes you carry around a big old bag all the time.
Hey, man.
He seems really happy.
Yeah, turning into ghoul is the best thing that ever happened to him.
Oh, wow. What a very different... They really changed it up that
Yeah,
time.
they sure did.
They used that helmet to clean their butts and shoes.
I was so curious what they were going to do with the Legion.
Why? Gross.
It's nice that they have a dental plan included with their healthcare. Is that who I think it is?
These guys look like they're LARPing.
You lost your legionary.
Please. Please. Please.
Oh, wow. Went through all that. The Legion.
Nice.
That's the first, like,
I can't believe we're doing this.
character title card we've had in a while. Or, like, group title card. We haven't done it since the first season. Is it going to be a famous person? Macaulay Culkin! What the fuck? This got a whole lot crazier.
This casting is remarkable.
Is that why he's been in the news lately? Did you impress for this?
Hi, sir.
How dare you address the great Kaiser?
Caesar? I believe Kaisers were German, and you guys have more of a Roman theme, so... Sir,
Wise
please.
indeed, sir.
I see that this is a
Head on a bike.
work camp. And if I may, I'm a very
We're negotiating the rights to your prima noctis.
prima noctis. First of all, shame on you. That is awful. Prima noctis isn't even a Roman tradition. It's from the Middle Ages. They were just nasty people borrowing a Latin phrase. And as much as I want to respect
your
your
history.
traditions,
And he loves his history.
And you should know that I am not even a virgin. And that's not including all of the cousin stuff I did, which is at least a page or two on my resume.
Always finding a way to get caught.
But first we must conquer the unrepentant members of Caesar's Legion. Over there.
That's cool. So the credits in the last episode were foreshadowing this whole camp.
There's 2 Caesars?
The great founder of this empire, he died. We've been at war ever since over who should be his heir.
Oh, fascinating.
He wrote down the name of his successor and placed it into his divine pocket. But every time we try to retrieve it, false Caesar and his followers, they shoot at us.
Go retrieve it, Lucy.
I have experience with family counseling, and sometimes conflict resolution is easier than you think.
Oh, Lucy. You're such an optimist.
Oh, boy.
This isn't Rome, okay? This is America, at least according to all the maps.
Maps drawn by the dead. All that remains of America is the overwhelming evidence of its failure.
There's no argument with that.
Speaking as someone who's seen upwards of 15 different movies, if you think everyone else is the bad guy,
has
chances are you're the bad guy.
But good is not a meaningful vector in history.
There is no good and bad guys.
I really appreciate how they've gone about what happened to each one of these in such a different way than one would have expected. Like, it's none of the actual endings of the game. It's all these other endings. It's interesting.
I know exactly what you mean.
No, I don't think you do, Greg. Have you tried screaming? A nice lady might come along and
Call
save
for
you.
help. You never know.
Oh, it's a good dog meat.
Oh, that's bad.
You take out one plank, it's the same as it ever was. It's just got a hole in it, that's all. You take out a lot of planks, and all of a sudden, you gotta ask yourself.
God damn. Oh, God, it's gross. Well, don't eat it.
He wants to. Stay.
Yeah.
It's just been a while since I had someone worth talking to.
Oh,
He's going to be getting a lot softer now.
sometimes all you need is a good dog.
That is true.
I can't seem to get Janie's teddy into the keepsake box for the vault. I just hate leaving anything behind, you know.
And that's what he saw when he first went down in the last episode. The first episode of the season.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to go to this thing for Charlie. What do you know about Robert House?
All I heard is that he's building some kind of weapons system in Vegas. Ryantel thinks it's connected to what you heard Barb talking about. Some blueprints and a bunch of phone records.
Well, do you know what your boss wants me to do to him?
I don't know.
Look, I want to help, but there's got to be another way.
Half the guys in here have killed people. Maybe not the right ones.
My name is Diane Welch, Congresswoman for the District of Glendale.
Hey.
That's where we are.
That's cool.
I don't think America can afford any more corporate influence in Washington.
Get on with it.
Men.
Well, today isn't about me, it's about you and the sacrifices you have made for this great nation.
It's the voice of the opposition, so...
It is my honor to award...
It's when he realizes you can't fix the world through politics and good people. I appreciate that they show how helpless it is to try to fix it the right way.
That's a reveal.
You getting any awards tonight? No, I'm just here for an old friend. Corporal Charlie Whiteknife. Rumor has it he's a bit of a pinko.
What does that mean?
Pinko, commie. Communist.
Got it.
Traitor.
What about me? Cooper Howard, American veteran, star of the silver screen, pinko.
Mr. House's red list.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I sympathize with the pinko point of view. They have grievances with traditional institutions. Entirely justified, if you ask me.
This guy has no issue getting in people's personal spaces.
Everyone trying to solve the same problem at the same time with a multitude of solutions. Messy.
Messy. I'll tell you, if he's not Mr. House, this is a huge lost opportunity.
What gave me away?
Because a vet would know better than to talk politics when a man has his dick in his hand.
Greg, I've told you, no talking politics with me while my dick is in my hand.
I only like to catch up when you're touching yourself.
We're out.
The arrival of the paladin from the Commonwealth complicates the issue.
not.
I'm not interested in fighting a rebellion, Quintus.
But the Brotherhood began as an act of rebellion.
Sure did.
Before the war, an ordinary captain was sent to a research center in California.
Okay.
Roger Maxon. And when he saw what they were doing there, experiments on human subjects, Roger Maxon had to ask himself, who did he serve? His God or his government?
The dogma of government.
He chose his God.
Excellent acting.
His government had defied God, and for that, he defied his government. But he wasn't punished.
Government and God used to be one.
So that he could found our noble order. If our rebellion is righteous, the way will be paved for us.
I don't go in for the religious stuff. Give the cold fusion relic to the Commonwealth.
It's really hard when you're arguing with a belief system.
Sure is.
This Xander guy, I could just kill him, but that's what we do here.
Behold the dimness of the sword.
While the sword is draped right behind him.
Will be war, and without the support of the other chapters, it will end with all our heads on spikes.
If our cause is righteous.
I have no need for the thoughts of a sword.
That's all you are, a puppet. Even in this position. Love that room with all like that religious iconography and statues, and you could feel how false the god is.
What do you want?
Well, my arrival seems to have put a damper on the conversation. Your clerics won't even look at me. You guys have a lot of clerics, you know that?
Yeah, I guess we do.
Yeah, scurrying around everywhere like little cockroaches. I know every chapter of the Brotherhood is a little different, but this one sucks.
I shouldn't be talking to you. Chain of command.
Good man. See? That's a soldier for you.
This is dangerous.
The Brotherhood that you believe in, that I believe in, we are the last bastion of order in this country. We are a bulwark against chaos.
Oh, insurgence is happening.
Fomenting a rebellion sounds a lot like chaos. It's guys like us who call the shots. People who put their ass on the line. That is foundational to the Brotherhood ethos.
Fallout, New York.
We are the ones who bleed.
What do you want me to do about it?
The framing of their profiles. They're each other's halves.
This isn't the first time that the Brotherhood has been on the verge of civil war. If us soldiers figure something out, it won't be the first time that cooler heads have prevailed.
What they choose to blur behind them is so specific in these moments.
Yeah, let's talk.
Oh, the intentionality. Every shot is just so well thought out.
Kumail had the knight. He had the flags. Hey, what do you know? Come to her
Well, Miss
rescue.
Lucy, how's that golden rule working out for you now?
This is like it's so small.
Clearly not what they used to be.
Looks like we got ourselves a civil war.
What do you know? On a much more of a micro scale, huh?
We need some help. This is about the best place to get it. Used to be, anyway.
I wonder what's left of the NCR out here.
This classic cowboy shot.
That's great. I'm so curious how they're going to go about this.
Is the idea that's California? That's what I want you to do.
My gosh, we're doing it.
Howdy, partner.
Is that you, Victor?
Well, that sure does sound familiar. Well, dagnabbit, spent the last 10 years thinking I was a soda machine. Well, beats me, partner. Someone did a number on my numbers. Memory's all jimble-jambled.
Jimble-jamble.
Who's running these parts these days?
The NCR and the Legion going at each other like cats and dogs. Though now we got the Legion fighting the Legion like cats and dogs, too. But you know what they say in Vegas? Everyone's a winner.
Same goes for losing in my experience, except for one man. The man that built you.
House?
Where's Robert House?
He's gone. He had all the money in the world.
House had a knack for planning ahead.
But he needed that cold fusion doodad from before the war. Didn't you have something to do with all that?
Oh.
Way back when.
Oh, he's got secrets.
Keep poor Victor company these days. Just them rangers up in the hills. The NCR and the Legion, they can't stop fighting. Like cats and dogs.
Oh, Gregory.
Did you get a lot of information out of that?
I did.
All right.
Did you get anything out of that?
I was thinking about food.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of that shit, man. I just know how to kick ass in it, you know? You ever flown one of these?
Oh, no.
Here, let me give you control right now. Hold on. Just let-
I'm worried he's going to be a bad guy.
Worried? He's a bad guy, Greg.
Without that relic you found, we risk losing the Commonwealth. And if the Commonwealth falls, civilization won't last much longer.
I mean, look at it out here.
Sees it.
Oh, boy.
We haven't seen the Commonwealth yet, right? In the show?
No.
Okay.
But it is the setting of Fallout 4. And there's a lot of theories that I have that I just am going to keep to myself for right now.
Our signatures in a complex nearby. Looks like unauthorized automated activity.
Oh, what do you care about a couple of robots in the desert?
We keep the wasteland safe.
Oh.
What? Yeah.
No, he's smart. He knows how to manipulate him.
Yep. Not a hard thing to do, honestly.
No, not Maximus.
Well,
Captain Rodriguez of the New California Republic.
Talking about the NCR. You've been waiting.
Well, I can see your salutations.
they show up. Oh, yep.
This school and the NCR go way back.
I'm glad they didn't kill off the NCR Rangers.
Where is everybody?
Up here it's just us. We've been cut off from reinforcements for more than a decade.
More than a decade.
When Shady Sands fell, we had a battalion out east. We could still get to them.
You do know that was over 20 years ago.
We've lost touch with our battalions. Help us contact them. It's so funny.
She doesn't know.
We're winning the war.
Well, if this is winning, I would hate to see what losing looks like.
Yeah.
Stuff we fight for, clean water, schools, rights for folks like you. You used to believe in those things too.
What was he like in the early days? Was he always?
Help us before we're captured.
That's really interesting.
I think he's something that's kind of emblematic of both what Maximus and Lucy have the potential to become.
A piece of advice has helped me sleep at night over the years. When something's dead, it's usually because it deserved to die.
Oh, boy.
All right, bro.
Let's do this.
In here. Come on, Max.
Glad they're showing some melee weapons.
Displaying our credentials.
Greetings, visitor. Would you prefer a neck or foot massage today? Massage protocol upgraded. Activating version. Relaxation imminent.
Get back.
Whoa.
Oh, fuck yeah. You ever see one of these?
What is that?
Big metallic piece of shit.
Is that the national anthem playing?
I think so.
That's all you got?
It sure is.
Over here, you bag of bolts. Come on, you dead?
God bless America.
Looking back in this, finding brotherhood within the brotherhood. It's like the exact opposite of what he was having last season.
Yeah. It's an important juxtaposition for him as he finds his place in the world. She is not doing well.
The crows, just like real crucifixions. That's cool. Except they're not nailed.
They weren't always nailed in ancient times.
Oh, Tony Scott. Oh, no.
Are you the three-eyed raven?
You claim to have information for Kaiser.
Well, I understand that the Legion ain't fans of the linear progression of time, or the soft sea for that matter. Now, I give you something you want. You give me something I want.
Or we can put you up on a cross until you give us what we want.
Or you could exterminate the last holdout of the new California Republic.
Whoa.
I can tell you where they're hiding.
Or is he secretly helping out the new California Republic and they're going to fall into an ambush?
That's what I'm praying for.
And I don't know if this poor damn grunt is dead or alive. So the first chance I get, I take cover, and who do I see staring right back at me? It's Cooper Howard.
We love Coop.
You know what he said to me?
How do I look?
The movie star Cooper Howard, he probably would have said that. The man I was looking at,
What did he say?
he looked up at me and he said, "How are the others?"
Oh, it's a good leader.
And he was worried about our squad. Fucking Marines, huh?
Used to care about others.
But the ones we do tell. We tell them to make us feel good about what we did.
You're a fellow Marine now, Lucy.
That's why I think you're right. I don't think he's betraying the NCR.
It was all for the right reasons. But we're just Marines. We don't get the privilege of knowing.
That's why I think he likes her more than he lets on. Brings out a side in him that he hasn't been in touch with for a long time.
Tonight, we bury the new California Republic.
All two of them. Oh, yeah, take him out.
We just gotta hope that we bet on the right side. The side that protects the people you love. Because if it did, I guess that's worth doing pretty much anything.
Boy, I love this show.
Doing something bad in the name of good. That's why I kill billionaires.
Can't say that while we're watching Amazon. They'll stop making the show, Greg.
I'd kill him on behalf of Amazon.
This is for you.
That's the lighter he's going to use. Oh, my heart.
They gave that to me for saving a man, not for killing the three it took to do it.
What beautiful music.
Yeah, the score is excellent. Is it who I think it is?
It's the Game of Thrones guy, isn't it?
Yeah, Jawadi.
Maybe this was a mistake.
What did you do?
I don't know, maybe something good, maybe something stupid.
Ignited the Civil War.
Let them end themselves.
Foreshadowing of a bigger event.
That's exactly what it is.
What a brilliant destruction. Just shrouded in smoke, leaving most of it to the imagination.
That's all you need.
That's how I want all my action scenes. Never see them.
I want them filmed in utter darkness, like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So you just can't see anything.
And I just go, leave it up to the audience's imagination. Power. Oh, is this the factory?
Gotcha. On your feet.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, this is the factory.
Oh, no, this is going to be his reunion with Thaddeus. His name's Thaddeus, right?
Oh, it's just a baby abomination.
Right.
All right, I know there's more of you here, so you better come on out.
Don't worry, we're not going to hurt you.
That's going to start a civil war.
I like Kumail.
We're just going to kill off all the expensive cameos.
I think we just kill off all the little kids.
Oh, jackpot.
Ah, gross.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're okay.
Yeah, you're all okay.
Oh, oh, man.
I'm gonna split you up into two groups, okay? If you have smooth skin, walk over to this side of the table.
So eerie.
Wrinkles, stay right here in front of me, okay?
Hey, wait, Xander.
No empathy.
Close your eyes.
Stop him. That is
Please stop.
Hi. Hello.
Good man.
Hi, FMA. I'm the
that's
manager here. I just asked you. Please don't do what you're about to do.
Oh, no.
They're just kids. Oh, who cares, right?
They're not kids. They're abominations.
Those are beliefs.
But they are kids.
Xander, come on, man. We don't.
No.
Please, Xander, please stop.
Fuck the codex, Xander. Listen to me.
No. There it is. Oh, right in the head.
That's how you start a civil war.
I mean, the belief system's fracturing from within. Oh, the irony that it's with him. The irony.
Hey, man.
Almost like destiny.
What you been up to?
I think I just started a war.
I'm the floor manager here, so it sounds like we both got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Cold as a cot.
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
Oh, amazing.
That was crazy. Credits seem to be actual clues this time.
Oh, look at those rad roaches.
Oh, we haven't seen them in a while. Robco Industries.
Right from inside Robco. Well, hot dog.
All right, we just watched Fallout Season 2, Episode 3. And I want to thank Praper for bringing down these highlights. You guys are doing a great job.
We love you.
The Notebook says thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good comedy.
I'm a Notebook.
I call children's comedy.
Just perfect for our audience.
Perfect for our Fallout audience right there. Can you say thank you, Notebook?
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Oh, Brotherhood.
Oh, Greg.
Oh, boy. So why is this war starting?
Between the Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Well, you
Because
have...
he killed an ethnic guy?
Yeah, so the crazy thing is the Commonwealth is actually in the subcontinent of India. And this whole entire series is a metaphor for Jammu and Kashmir. Yeah,
Nicely done.
Yeah, thank you.
You got there quick.
Thank you. Well, there's no other way to get there, Greg.
Yeah, that's true.
No other way, not with a bit. Yeah, we, well, first off, the show has succeeded in introducing Caesar's Legion, immediately taking them off the map.
We don't know for sure.
Well, somebody's going to survive, I'm sure, but they are certainly a fragment of their former selves.
Yeah.
But that seems to be a common theme throughout all the factions. Is nobody seems to have won the war that was the subject of New Vegas, which is really cool.
Is the war supposed to be a tiny bit unclear?
Which the Great War or this war? Like
this upcoming war that they're talking about.
The one that's to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
the Civil War that they're talking about, because
well,
I don't really understand the grasp of what the Brotherhood has. It seems like sometimes they go to like cities in this world who are not even that aware of what the Brotherhood is and stuff.
Yeah.
So the Brotherhood, it's like the impression I'm getting is the Brotherhood, Commonwealth, and all that. They think the world is all about them, and their civil war feels like it's going to like encompass the whole world. But this is mainly something within them. Is it something that will affect the rest of the world as well? Is the Commonwealth something that exceeds further beyond?
I want to be careful with because I don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't played the games. But I think it would be safe for me in a non-spoiler way to say that in the way that the New California Republic was a faction, the Commonwealth also exists as a sort of territory, not necessarily a faction, a specific faction, as much as a territory that had many factions within it.
And where are they located?
The Commonwealth is in reference to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Okay.
Which is...
Oh, you said back east.
Boston.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's I mean, I think the best way to think about it is it's a civil war. So it's a war within. It's a war between people that are technically on the same side.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the Brotherhood, as we saw a glimpse of in this episode and the previous episode, is all of these different chapters that are geographically disconnected from each other, that are in many ways self-sustaining, but all have different interpretations of their origins. So in the same way that like California as a state is different than Texas, is different than New York, it's the same sort of principle. And now there is sort of this galvanizing technology that has the ability to unite them, and whomever has it has the technological edge required to unite the different chapters of the Brotherhood of Steel, which is a very difficult thing to do, as they are geographically separated, ideologically separated. And I think most interestingly was a lot of what was alluded to by our ambassador from the Commonwealth.
Kumail's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's saying that things are not necessarily going as well as they appear, which I think sets up a really interesting question mark of what's going on in the Commonwealth. and I have some theories, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Gotcha. Well, I like that it's stemming from this incident with Maximus, who's been pushed away from the leadership within the Brotherhood as well, and he's already been questioning the ideology, more so this religious system that he has been abiding by, and now for him to do this, which is to go directly against their Bible, is pretty...
Codex.
Yeah, they call it the Codex, yeah.
Do you think he's going to lie about what happened to Kumail's character? Because he lied a lot in the first season.
I mean, he's carrying on a lie. He didn't kill Moldaver.
Yeah, he did.
I feel like he doesn't feel confident that he can get away with the lie this time.
Yeah,
that's why he said, "I think."
Especially
I just started
since
a war.
he indicated, "Do you want me to kill him?"
Yeah,
that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Well, now it creates an interesting situation of they've also established the other chapters that have clearly said they're not going to go with the Mojave, California-based.
Well, the big takeaway I was taking from the elder, Quintus is his name.
Quintus.
Is he was explaining the origin of the Brotherhood, government versus God, and that it seems like Commonwealth cares more about government and Brotherhood cares more about God. Although,
yeah. Well, so it's sort of interesting because they sort of alluded to it in that there's different types of roles within the Brotherhood. There's knights, there's scribes, so on and so forth. And each sort of represents a different part of the ideology. Like the preservation and the knowledge and the wisdom is just as important as the sword that fights to get that technology. And I think the realities of the East Coast Brotherhood, all of their realities are so different, and those circumstances in many ways dictate which part of their ideology ends up being the most prominent. And it's interesting because every Fallout game like approaches it in a different way, but shows you different lights and sides of the Brotherhood. And I think this has done a phenomenal job at giving a nice little taste of it.
yeah. Well, I like the way Kumail was portraying it because he was taking glee in the killing. And it seems like when in doubt, rely on the word of the Codex to get away.
Yeah, to rationalize the...
Yeah.
Well, and it was sort of a striking thing because for a brief moment, I forgot that, like, oh, yeah, they don't view ghouls as people.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why Thaddeus left last time.
Yeah.
His name's Thaddeus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's such an interesting sort of... we're fighting for the people. We're fighting for blah, 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 you know, and then it's like, oh, no, those are actual children.
Yeah.
And you're about to mow them down. And I think that also sort of, again, reiterates why the brilliant choice to take the NCR off the map, because they represent the best of this world.
Yeah.
And by eliminating that choice, it creates such moral ambiguity. Ambiguity.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
You got it.
I
believe in you.
Giggity.
No, I don't know how to say it.
This episode's brought to you by Ambien. So, what do you think?
There you go. When in doubt, ask Greg a question.
Yeah, that's all I got. What do you think?
Well,
Greg?
I think this one's feeling more historic. This one's going back to more historic. It's weird how like the first season has a little bit more of an attainable, easy to latch onto retro sci-fi thing that they do, and this one's even going more biblical, right? Like you got the Roman Empire, medieval type of characters that they're showing. You've got now they're emphasizing more of what the Brotherhood actually believes and how these belief systems in terms of all kinds of things we could start a civil war often comes down to what one believes is humanity rights.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, it's almost like we in the United States once fought a civil war over rights,
over human rights. Yeah.
Yeah. And who was a person and who
what you consider to be a human and what
Yeah.
you don't consider to be a human, and watching what happens here. So I like the illustration of that when so much of what they're saying is history can repeat itself and we don't want history to repeat itself, and you're watching literally
history repeat itself.
When they're out of options, they rely on history.
There's a reason that every Fallout game starts with the friendly reminder that war never changes. It is a constant theme of humanity. And it is an interesting, like Caesar's Legion and the whole philosophy. And I thought it was brilliant how they did like a very clear fake out of the Emperor looking similar to the Emperor from the games. Very similar to Lannis, who McCulkin played, looking like, oh my God, it's this amazing character. And then you realize like, there's no way that's the same guy.
Okay.
Like clearly somebody has taken his mask, and clearly this guy just sort of looks like the Emperor. But their whole ideology, and sort of why I got really excited when Lucy started going on about history and sort of pointing out all of the ironies of their philosophy, was because the original Kaiser in the game loves history. And that was sort of the like his idea of how do you bring back order and restore the world is for us to go to this like very ancient, very civilized, like civilization achieved through the brutality and the militarism of this ancient tradition.
Yeah.
And it's sort of interesting because like it's a preservation of ideas that you lose as the world became more modern, and it has, you know, now granted, like it's pretty messed up. There's slaves and all different sorts of atrocious atrocities, war crimes, you know, people on crosses, etc. But there was an ideology there, and it's interesting because you see what's left of it, and they're just playing dress up.
Yeah, I even said that when they first showed up. I was like, they look like they're LARPing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, and that's sort of a far way off from the intentions of what they set off.
Yeah, because they're not even being historically accurate.
No, they're using medieval, you know. But that I think that was exactly the
point,
the brilliance of the spin here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the Brotherhood sort of faces a similar. It is everyone is trying to figure out what is the successor to the old world, and is the successor a carbon copy of the old, or does it look like something new entirely?
Fair.
And I love those sort of philosophical questions, because if the world that was so good, then this should have never happened in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. I to direct it back to the last couple characters before we head out.
Yeah.
Who do you want to talk about first? I got thoughts on both Lucy and Cooper. Which one do you want to go with first?
Let's start with Lucy, because I thought this was a very strong episode for Coop.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I started the realization started to dawn on me what the big Lucy problem is she's having the main character syndrome problem, which is in the first season she was fucking brilliant, and they had a great character set up for Ella Purnell, and she nailed it. I undoubtedly like that's as much as like people talk about the Ghoul and whatever. It was her season, and she was amazing and nailed every moment and arc, and the writing on her was insanely good. And it seems like they don't really have an arc for her this time. Like they don't really have something clear cut.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like we're going through repetitive beats and repetitive motions, because it's like, well, we already kind of did like the main arc that we needed for her, and now she's here on this journey, so she just has a mission now.
Yeah.
And she's revisiting some stuff, because while Ella is killing it as per usual, she's nailing down the performance of Lucy, the writing surrounding her is not as distinct or as special. Because like when you look at Maximus, very clear arc that they're going through with him within the Brotherhood. When you look at Cooper, very, very clear what they're exploring with him. With Lucy, it's like kind of more of the same shit she went through last time. You know?
I would be willing to bet you 150 caps that there is a good chance that next week's episode is what this episode was for Coop.
Okay. I hope so.
I'm holding out a relentless optimism, a Lucy-inspired optimism that they're going to give her that same gratitude. I really think it's going to come in the form of something's going to happen. She's going to have a little bit of a mental breakdown and deal with the fact that her mother was a ghoul, her dad is an evil murderer who uses atomic weapons against innocent civilians, and her entire life and existence is a lie, and that she is the heir to an empire of blood and death.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they do something. I don't know what it'll be, but I hope they do something that's a little bit more rich, as opposed to just throwing Ella into a circumstance that is like interesting, but not really taking her character in a direction that we haven't already seen before. You know,
I do appreciate, before we get into Coop, I do appreciate that they've taken a gentle step back on House.
Robert House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a good move to slow that down.
Okay.
And to let that build up for the duration of the season. I was a little worried that we were going to like get to Vegas immediately, and that it was going to like, I'm glad that we're off the beaten path a little bit, so that can build. I also think that's a great transition to talk about the bathroom scene.
The bathroom scene. I love the bathroom. Well, one thing I'll say though, really quick for Lucy, in as we're going into Cooper and his story, is I think what Lucy's mainly doing is serving Cooper's story now, though.
Yeah.
As in terms of like bringing out the humanity within him, and so I get that is probably what they're doing with her to serve, be a support for them.
I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, it was very clear that Coop saw a version of his comrade, that he was soldiers with, in Lucy.
Definitely.
And that sort of set off that sequence, which I thought all of that was so brilliantly done.
Mm-hmm.
Having the congresswoman, who is just an absolute catastrophe of a person, coming out, and like, okay, this is the one good person fighting the good fight in the legislature. That means it's over. Like, there is no democratic or peaceful way to win this fight. Like, the institutions that Coop believes in are no longer there and are no longer viable.
Yeah.
That sets into motion the rest of his character arc. And, like, it starts with, if I stop this one bad guy, maybe I can make a difference. And then inevitably he cascades, and at some point he ends up becoming what he is now. There
seem to be clues that he is somewhat responsible for the position.
Responsible
in a way that he doesn't realize, or didn't realize when he did it.
And I think that's probably more likely than anything. Is at some point his humanity was shaken to its core, and I think there is probably a very interesting story in the immediate aftermath. It also, and I'm so curious, like, share your thoughts in the comments. Was it alluded to when he was having the conversation with the robot that he, like, number one, he had a relationship with the New California Republic for a long time, but maybe he was part of the New California, like maybe he was trying to build and be a part of what came after.
I think so, because the New California Republic person recognized him right away. And so that ghoul has a history or something with the New California.
Yeah. Long history.
Yeah.
It sort of presents an interesting...
Because he sided with Moldaver in the past and stuff. So it would make sense that he did, and then he separated.
Continued that fight even after the bombs dropped, which in my mind sets up such an interesting... the next round of flashbacks after we get past the dropping of the bombs, which will be really cool to see.
It's probably a season 3 thing.
Yeah. But I love the seeds that they're planting. But this was definitely an episode where his humanity won out.
What did you think of the bathroom scene?
Well, I thought I'm running under the 100% assumption that is the real house.
It has to be, right?
If it's not, then congratulations, Amazon MGM, you did it. I am so confused. But
I mean, yeah, if a guy wants to live forever, anonymity is probably a big key to that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, a body double at the bare minimum. I
Yeah.
mean, if Padme did it, surely House will do it too. But I thought that I'll tell you what I hate. House is already aware to an extent of what's going on.
Okay.
And that indicates to me that there is absolutely no way that whatever terrible thing that ended up happening that made the ghoul, that House played an essential role in placing him and having him do actions that he thought was appropriate.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just have to wait and find out.
I'm pretty confident. I don't think we have to. I think we can just be happy with my theories. So, well,
close us out, Michael.
Citizens of the Real Reject Nation, I am sad to tell you that our beloved capital has been destroyed in an unexpected atomic blast, and Greg and I are the sole survivors. Don't forget to leave a comment and like the button. Okie dokie, subscribe.